ultimately, the goal of Judaism is that we eat with morality, purpose, and joy. That food is something that shapes our culture, that forms and binds our community, and that gives us a deeply personal connection to the divine and the covenant. Shalom friends, welcome to A Small Sanctuary. I'm Rabbi Esther and I'm here to take you on an incredible journey this month for the Jewish month of Shvat. The Jewish month of Shvat is the month that also has the festival of Tu Bishvat, which is a minor festival already noted in the time of the Mishnah, and it is also called Rosh Hashanah Ha'ilanot, the New Year of the Trees. And so in honor of all things environmental and green and growing and beautiful and earth-based, in honor of Shabbat, I thought I would explore the sacred table. That is our theme, which involves all aspects of Jewish dietary practices, sacred eating, intentional consumption, ethical consumption, vegetarianism, veganism, and of course, kashrut, the Jewish dietary laws. It will also focus on how you create a table culture in your own home and what that might look like from a Jewish perspective, including gathering, hosting, and hospitality, as well as community building. Without further ado, here is a disclaimer, and it is an important disclaimer. Food and eating are deeply personal and sensitive topics. I am not a dietitian, I am not a nutritionist, I'm not a mental health professional, and I'm not a medical doctor. Everything that I say in these videos is based on how the Jewish tradition has grappled with food practices over its many millennia of history, but it is not meant to be prescriptive. Before you engage in any altered behaviors around food or dietary practices, consult with your doctor or your mental health professional to see if these changes or practices are healthy for you. Disordered eating is a real challenge for many people, and we receive that with compassion and respect. And I certainly am aware of the boundaries that I have as a spiritual teacher to invite people into healthy practices under the guide of evidence-based medical science. So take this as exploratory, only as me sharing some of my thoughts and experiences through my journey of sacred eating, and always choose life. Make the best choices for you and your family that assert your worth as a human being created in the image of God, and that prioritize your health and well-being. This disclaimer applies for all videos in which I talk about sacred food practices, including fasting, including the dietary laws, and including restrictive eating in one way or another through veganism. Now, having said that, I am going to go vegan for the month of Shvat. I have done this before during the month of Elul a number of years ago. I thought in the spirit of the holy month of Elul, it might be really valuable for me to try veganism for a month. It was a really fun and incisive and insightful experiment. But the month of Elul for rabbis is not the best of timing to start experimenting with new things because we're prepping for the high holidays. So I thought, well, if I'm ever going to do this again, I'm going to do it for the month of Shvat. So here we are. When Rosh Chodesh Shvat starts, I will be going vegan. I've done it before. My health is fine. I will talk a little bit about that in future videos as well as reflect on what my journey has been with Jewish practices around sacred food consumption. Now, why am I launching this series? If we take the audacious claim of Judaism seriously, that anything can be touched by the divine presence, by us uplifting our lives and making them more beautiful, more wholesome, more purpose-driven through the Torah and mitzvot, through whatever denominational lens you choose to refract that question through, then Engaging how we in our culture view food and practice eating is a really important part of that claim. Yes, Judaism does make the claim that even something as simple as what we choose to put in our mouths have cosmic ramifications, both in how we treat ourselves, how we treat our fellow human beings, and how we treat the animal world and the environment as a whole. Judaism has always grappled with these questions since the moment the book of Genesis describes Adam and Chava, Adam and Eve, eating from the tree of life and tasting the fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and bad. These are profound questions and they are transformative questions. And I hope to create a space in which we can explore these questions safely with your spiritual autonomy and your own well-being in mind. Ultimately, the goal of Judaism is that we eat with morality, purpose, and joy. That food is something that shapes our culture, that forms and binds our community, and that gives us a deeply personal connection to the divine and the covenant. So that is why I wanted to do this series. Now, before I actually go on and talk about what exactly we want to be exploring, I've already talked about vegan Shabbat or Jewish Veganuary. I'm still confused how you pronounce that word. Jewish Veganuary or vegan Shabbat. I will also talk a little bit about what my journey into kashrut has been and how it has shaped me. That will be for the next installment. Meanwhile, I have got these great books because I am a kosher flexitarian, meaning that I eat mostly like a lacto-ovo vegetarian most days of the week with the occasional fish and meat. I have to educate myself on veganism. So I got these two great books. Obviously, there's a plethora of vegan books available. I got Forks Over Knives, The Plant-Based Way to Health, which has been a bestseller. Again, I'm not necessarily endorsing these books for other people. I'm just exploring and seeing what's in there for me. So Forks Over Knives. And then this very attractive looking The Vegan Week, which I thought, since it focuses more on meal prep and bulk cooking, this would be good for a family. And so you can look at these beautiful recipes inside here as well. And I'm looking forward to doing some meal planning and getting cracking with this. I love chickpeas. Who doesn't love chickpeas? Chickpeas are the best. So I'm excited to experiment with that as well. So that is my introductory video for this new series. I hope you will follow me on my journey to month-long veganism. I fully appreciate that any dietary choices any of us make touch very deeply on the personal, the ethical, the spiritual, and the political. I am not making any prescriptive statements of how anyone else should live, nor am I suggesting that what I am doing is the best way. I am experimenting and I'm growing in my practice. I am aware that for people who are in the vegan community or the vegetarian community, me dabbling with this will fall short of the ideal of full veganism. I am also aware that in the kosher keeping carnivorous community, what I am doing may also feel not right for people in that community. We just have to sit with the knowledge that we cannot be everything to all people all the time, and that we are all here on a journey of growth and exploration and self-development through the lens of Torah and mitzvot, through the lens of our beautiful and complex tradition that has grappled with these issues too. So let's be kind to each other in the comments. Let's meet each other with grace as we all figure out how to engage meaningfully in the choices through which we put things into our mouths. I wish you a very happy Shabbat and an incredible journey of food and culture and ethics and exploration as you journey along with me for this month. Thank you for watching today. Shalom uvracha, with peace and blessings from my bayit, from my house to your bayit. Bye.